Everyone has a favorite hero. And in this era of pop culture awareness, most people you ask will tell you that their hero has superpowers. So does mine. My favorite hero is Carol Danvers, also known as Captain Marvel, and I have been waiting over a decade for the rest of the world to finally get to know her too. And there's never been a better time to be a Captain Marvel fan. After wading through Hulk and Iron Man merchandise, I finally have a chance to geek out with dresses and shirts and purses and jackets and shoes, and I am loving it. And one of the most fantastic things about Captain Marvel is it's not just women who are excited. Men everywhere were incredibly flustered when Vans came out with a new line of Captain Marvel high tops and they couldn't get them in their sizes because she's an awesome role model, not just for girls, but for boys. If you've never picked up a comic before, or if you haven't seen any of the trailers, you might be wondering why you're suddenly seeing Captain Marvel or the actress playing her Brie Larson everywhere right now. Well, for starters, Captain Marvel is going to be showing up in the as-yet untitled Avengers 4 coming out next summer. Yeah! And of course, she'll be starring in her own film titled Captain Marvel. And what I love about this character is the journey that she goes on. When we first meet her in the movie, we're going to see her as a member of Star Force. For those who don't know, Star Force is an elite alien military squad whose whole goal is defending the Kree Empire. But that's not actually where Carol Danvers got her start. In fact, she was originally just a human on Earth, and she went through many, many years and many transformations before she finally became Captain Marvel. And there's something about that story that's very unique. When we first meet Carol Danvers, it's in the original Captain Marvel line of comics when Captain Marvel was a man and an alien. Carol Danvers was head of security at a NASA base after spending years moving up through the ranks of the Air Force on her own. And one of the best ways to describe who she is by talking about who she isn't. Unlike Iron Man, she didn't have $1 billion in a suit. Unlike Captain America, she didn't volunteer. Unlike Thor, she wasn't born with it. Unlike the Hulk, there was no science experiment. And unlike Black Widow or Hawkeye, she didn't have any special training. When she first gets her powers, it happens because she's trying to rescue the original Captain Marvel. When things go wrong and he dies, she absorbs his powers, but she doesn't realize it. In fact, she has to spend the first few issues of her own comic line discovering that she has them. She keeps saving the day, blacking out, and she has to reconcile all of these new things about her while staying true to herself. And it's that unique twist on an origin story that really, really drew me to her because she wasn't like anybody else. Being the geek that I am, I love dressing up as her at conventions. This is me in her 1970s black leotard look, and I'm geeking out with someone dressed as Captain Marvel because 5 years ago, no one else knew who she was. When I go to conventions, I don't just dress up. I have a sketchbook that I've been filling for years by having different local artists do commissions of her at various stages through her journey, and I always ask them to do it in their own style because every facet of her character fascinates me. I'm an elementary school teacher, and I try and take her with me to work. When we have Spirit Week, I dress up as her. I have my Captain Marvel Funko sitting on top of my desk with her helmet down, which means she's ready to get to business. And when I'm pushing myself at work, there's this phrase I love: higher, further, faster, more. And part of why I love it is there's that drive to always keep improving. And I also love it because that was the title of her comics relaunch in 2014. So why haven't we gotten a Captain Marvel movie yet, or why hasn't she shown up as an Avenger? The very short version is her superpowers, which include flight, speed, super strength, photon blasts, have been so epic that they would have unbalanced any Avengers movie we got. So when we finally get her movie, is it going to be worth the wait? I hope so. Her poster includes the phrase higher, further, faster, and her trailer shows flashbacks of her time on Earth, and that time on Earth is really key. There's a great moment in her newer line of comics where she's defending an entire planet, and she proclaims herself as an Earthling and an Avenger. And I love it because she could have just said, I'm an Avenger and I'm going to kick ass, but she said, I'm an Earthling and an Avenger, because that Earthling piece is what drives her. It's who she is no matter what. And as a teacher, I try to remember that. When I push and I go and I go and I go, I try to remember I'm an Earthling and I'm a teacher. And so whatever you do, whether you are a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer or a cop, it doesn't matter. Be that. Be the best at it. But don't forget to be an Earthling, because it might take superpowers to go higher, further, or faster, but it only takes being an Earthling to be a hero. Thank you.